What do you think is the most exciting new feature in Transport Fever 3?
So I could tell you a lot of things like day and night
We have time.
cycle or the helicopter switch I love, the new vehicles and a lot of other things. I also believe that adding the workers for the industries as a booster mechanic is a great addition, but overall the most important thing is the whole Tycoon element. So there is a lot of decisions. Everything you do in the world has consequences as long as you want to. Obviously, you can turn it all off in a sandbox mode as well. But that's the most important thing. So everything you do triggers something else. Everything is connected. And this is also something that you will be feeling only after a few hours in the game, probably, because it's massive and it might be possible that you do something and only an hour or two later you realize, oh wow, I have an effect on something else, right? And I think how everything comes together and connects as one is probably the coolest thing about it.
Let's talk about the helicopters. I imagine you needed something in between not having aviation at all and planes.
Obviously, helicopters are great. Who doesn't love helicopters? But yes, I mean, also one of their big real-life usages is that they are very flexible. And for example, we have the new oil platforms, right? So it's very well possible that you pick up cargo with a ship, which is very big. You can get a lot of cargo, but it's very slow. But you bring the workers to the oil platform with a helicopter, because maybe there's not as many workers as you need to bring there, and you want them to be there fast. So you might use a helicopter. Or as you said, you want to cover a long distance, but it's maybe not as many cargo as you need, or it needs to be very fast. Then a helicopter might be a good alternative to a very big plane or to establishing the tracks, right? For a helicopter, you basically need to have two helipads or a heliport and a helipad. That's it. You don't need any tracks or infrastructure in between, right?
So you can have small helicopters to transport people, but also rather larger ones for cargo operations, right?
Yes, we have both. We have very small ones and we have rather large ones as well in the game.
Can you talk about the expansion of the Tycoon gameplay?
Yes, or maybe even the idea behind it. That's probably even the better way to approach it. So for Transport Fever 2, the only thing that people really cared about was money.
Yeah.
And once you had enough money, you were never really running out of it again because your networks were just working, right? So these times are over. As for example, if you build a line now and you want to keep it running for 5 to 10 years, you will need to go and optimize it all the time. And also there is a lot of other new things that have been added. For example, cities have many different demands from many different kind of elements that are coming together. So this means that money is now just a tool. It's one of many things that are very important, but if you want to do really well, you need to combine all the things in the world and all the needs of the cities, which makes it much more interesting.
You also added boosters. How does that work?
Basically it means that if you have an industry which is already established, you can bring boosters there. This means you can either bring workers, so employees from a city, or you can bring additional tools, for example. There's also some industries that take both. You can deliver booster as people, and you can deliver a booster in the form of tools. Mm-hmm. They might even need to be produced in a different industry with different resources. So this already creates quite a big network. And if you do so, you can massively increase the production rate of your industry. So let's say it's producing 100 units. If you boost it, you might produce up to 170 units. Mm-hmm. So it can be a very efficient way to boost production, but it can also mean that you need to have a lot of additional infrastructure around.
The map I've seen appears to be of similar size compared to what we had in TF2. Are you considering larger maps?
So obviously we know that a lot of people are asking for bigger maps. However, the most important concern that a lot of people have is performance, overall game performance, right? And there is a direct relation between simulation performance and map size. So as we go and as the more we optimize, we try to give you as big maps as we somehow can. However, we are fully aware that it might also take a hit on performance. So we try to find a sweet spot. As of today, we cannot confirm that we're going to have bigger maps or not. But we can promise you, if there is a way to make it happen, we will find it.
And the simulation has gone deeper, so larger maps would probably multiply the performance impact from that, correct?
That's one part of it, but you also have to see that obviously we have been massively reworking the whole engine over the last 5 years, right? So yeah. I would say that we have, it's not a revolution, but rather a big evolution. It's a big next step that we did in terms of engine. It's also a big step that we did in terms of how things are set up, how things are optimized. So we can push the limits a bit further, that's for sure, but still there is always this undeniable relation between simulation performance and map size.
Now that money isn't the only objective anymore, what are other elements players need to pay attention to?
There is a lot of different things. We spoke about these city needs quickly before. So, for example, one of them is pollution. Another one is noise. Another one is traffic jams, the level of traffic. We also spoke about delivery time, right? So you have an ideal time frame within which you should deliver your cargo to its destination. If you don't do, there's going to be consequences, right? So as in real life, for everything you do, you might face consequences, good or bad. Which doesn't mean that money is out of the picture. I mean, if you're bankrupt, you're bankrupt. But you still need to take care of a lot of other things besides just money.
Is there any pipe dream feature that you really like to add but doesn't quite fit just yet?
I think it really depends who you ask. Probably everyone in the team has another
What's yours?
feature that they would like to have implemented. I think mine would be really cool if you could actually take control of a vehicle that's in the game. But that's probably because I play a lot of other simulation games, so that's probably dreaming a bit too far at the point that we are now. But there is a lot of things in the pipeline. There will be a lot of things coming that I don't want to spoiler at this point. But I would say everyone in the team is very, very much invested in the game, and so we all have a lot of visions and ideas, and a lot of them have already found their place in Tier 3. There's a lot more to see.
I love the idea of driving vehicles. You can count my vote for it. Is the day-night cycle just cosmetic, or does it have gameplay effects?
No, as of now, it is just cosmetic, and that's also for reasons, because we want the core gameplay to be the same for everyone. And for example, in night mode, it might not be as great to build tracks as it does during day, right? So we don't want to force any of it on any of the players. As always in Transport Fever, you can adjust everything to your needs, and it's the same for that. So it's purely visual. You can turn it off if you don't want it. You can turn it on if you want to have it. You can set it in the way that you want to have it to play, or change as you go.
Is there any way to make it dynamic so that it alternates day and night on its own?
I've heard that we might be working on something. I think it will be there at release.
What about implementing dynamic weather on top of that as well?
That's something I wouldn't promise at this point, but if it's possible to do, it's surely on the list.
One thing I always wanted while playing Transport Fever 2 was the ability to customize the towns a little more. Do you have anything like that in the pipeline?
Yes, I mean, obviously it's not a city building game, it will never be, but there have been some steps taken, some small tools that you can, let's just say you can optimize your cities a bit further, you can individualize them a bit further, and there will also be some measures that make the cities feel a bit more alive and a bit more dynamic. And I know that there will be some information, especially on city growth and all the factors very, very soon as well.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with our readers and viewers?
I think the most important thing is that maybe even if you're not really into these kind of games, that you maybe give it a shot, because it's really cool and they can cover a lot of different approaches, right? If you want to build transport lines, you do this. If you want to manage the economy, you can also do it to some extent. If you just want to see nice vehicles in action, you can also do it. Or if you had a busy day, you want to come home and you want to relax with something nice on your TV, even on consoles on day one, I think it might be a great choice. So maybe give it a shot, even if it's not your typical game, and give us some feedback. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this interview, please like it and subscribe to our channel. And if you so wish, leave your feedback and opinions in the comments. Your input and support are always highly appreciated. We hope to see you soon here on the channel and every day on Simulation Daily.